Hi everybody, good morning. It is episode 10 of Garden Talk with Shannon from Nana's Workshop. I have my garden buddy here today. This is Yoshi. Say hi, Yoshi. He's my garden bud. But today I want to talk about some natural things that you can use in the garden to get rid of bugs and kill the bad bugs. And there's so many sprays out there. There's chemical ones and natural ones, but if you guys want to just go all natural, there's several out there. You can use a combination of, say, Dawn dish soap and water in a sprayer, just like this. And actually, if you want to mix a bunch ahead of time, you can mix 5 tablespoons of soap to 4 cups of water. And then just put it in your sprayer as you want to use it. And spray it right on those plants. Get underneath the leaves, and that takes care of what the Dawn dish or what the soap does. And I have heard that Dawn dish soap is the best. So it dehydrates the aphids and the spider mites. So am I crooked? Gotta fix that bit. Oh. And then there's neem oil spray. Now this is a neem oil, and it's a fungicide, miticide, insecticide. And it gives you instructions on how to mix it. And this is a natural spray. And it says it controls black spot, powder mildew, spider mites, aphids, white flies, and other insects. So this is actually a good one, and it's all natural. It repels all these aphids, mites, scale, and any soft-bodied bugs. You just follow the directions on how to mix it up, put it in a sprayer. Now this is a concentrate, so you definitely want to read the instructions on how to mix it up. But can you see that? And so another one is beer. You know, everybody knows what beer is. So get yourself one of those tin pie plates and pour some beer in that and slide it underneath like a hosta, or wherever you're kind of having the slugs and snail problems on your plants, and they actually fall in there or they crawl in there and they drown or they die. So it mostly takes care of slugs and snails, and other bugs might crawl in there too. I know that gnats will crawl in there and they'll drown. Another natural solution is you can get a yellow piece of paper or card. I would suggest something hard and that won't, like, it'll last if it rains. Now this is just a piece of construction paper, and if you just want it for a quick solution, here's what I did. I taped a fork to the back and I put petroleum jelly on there, you know, petroleum jelly, and you can stick it in your potted plant, or you can stick it in random places out in the garden. And bugs, they are attracted to that yellow, and so they fly on it and stick. It's like a stick mat, but it's natural. It's petroleum jelly, and they can't fly off of it. And so another one, and I use this especially if I'm overwintering plants or propagating, I use an alcohol spray, and I mix it with the ratio of 1 to 2 cups of the 70% rubbing alcohol to 1 quart of water. Stir that up, and then you put it in your sprayer just like this, and spray your plants, and that it repels the bugs and the house plants, and you spray it underneath the leaves as well. Now, this is my bottle for aphids, and I mix pure white vinegar with it. I just put pure white vinegar in there, and aphids are a soft body insect, so it's like a chemical to them when it attaches to when this sprays on their body. it messes with their nervous system and all that, so it kills them. So this is the bottle that I use on several things. Other different ways you can do is, like, especially slugs or snails, if you see them, pluck them off. Just pluck them off and get rid of them. Another way is, if you see a severe infestation of aphids, is get yourself a hose sprayer that has kind of a powerful adjustment, and just spray them, blast them off. Just blast them off, especially on a potted plant. You can go, now this is a butterfly bush, but you can go and just set this on your sidewalk and just spray. Make sure you're getting underneath and just spray that hose and blast them out of there. But those are the natural, most of the natural ones that I use. And so now I think we're just gonna take a walk around the garden and see what's growing. There's been a lot of things that have changed, blooming. I've added a few things recently. So let's see what's growing. And pardon me for my hand, but here we go. I still have here's my shade garden. It has gotten considerably larger since I have made the last video. Here's my wisteria. My wisteria is not blooming yet this year. Some lamb's ear. I added some extra coral bells in here for some color. Some petunias in here. I added some impatiens for pops of color, and they're gonna just fill in all those empty spots that some of this other stuff, like the daffodils, are dying back. So it's kind of a nice filler to transition into after some of those spring bulbs die away. These are my solar lights that my son gave me and his family for Mother's Day. They're beautiful at night as well. Everybody thinks that they are real when they see them. I added some extra daylilies. I had some holes, so I added some new daylilies. So I have peach and white and red, and I think pink in there. So I can't wait to see them this fall. Maybe I didn't get a peach, but we're going to find out. It'll be a surprise. The columbine are dying back, and they're going to seed. If you see that, you see these? They're going to seed. Those are seed pods. And so they're going to dry up, and they'll blow away in the wind, and next year they'll probably be grown in a different spot. A lot of cleome seeds right there. Those are all cleomes. So I might transplant some of them in some areas that I need. My bachelor buttons are getting done. I added a bunch of vinca and moss rose and petunias to fill in some spots. Oh, check it out. Oh my gosh, check it out. There is a butterfly right in there. Is that not cool? That is so cool. We just caught that on camera. That is awesome. Hi, buddy. Oh, there he goes. And my lollipop lilies are starting to fade. And my knockout roses, I love them. My Stella d'Ors. Hi, buddy. Some sedums. What'd you find? Really? Oh my goodness. Well, let's go ahead and go on over to this bed. I have a 9-bark, some grass, sedum, autumn joy, Carl Forster grass. This is silver mound. My hibiscus. One of these front ones are blue, and the other one is a gray purple. It's just gorgeous. I think that one's the pink one, and then there's one, either that one or that one back there is a red, and one might be a white, I'm not sure. But I have my zebra grass and my almond shrub there. So this bed is really, really filling in. A lot of, what are you doing? You own the place? So we're coming back to the front of the garden. Moss rose that I planted not even a week ago really taken off. My tropicals are starting to show their faces. There's an elephant ear. Some of this stuff I need to weed out. Here's some vincas I added along the sidewalk because it gets so hot here. Right here in this spot anyways. My hosta got a little bit nipped with the heat. So there's my cannas starting to grow, my maroon ones. This is a sweet autumn joy clematis. And here are my passion vines. Starting, there's one, and then this is the second one on the back side. And if you go to my Nana's Workshop Facebook page, you will see a picture that I actually painted. I hand painted of a flower that was on here. It was a passion flower, and it was purple. And I hand painted that actually from my own photo. And I love that flower. It's just my favorite. Here is the Jack Manny clematis. It is doing well on my lamppost. I have some garden phlox in here, some Asiatic lilies. I want to dig some of those out. Those are those tall corn lilies, those orange ones. We have some asters, coneflowers. I think I have a purple and a green coneflower back here yet. I want to transition them into the other bed over there where it gets more sun. Here is Jacob Klein Monarda, and it's a beautiful red. It's a taller variety. There's the bachelor buttons. And my banana plant. Hopefully it takes off pretty soon. It is getting bigger. It's slow. But it needs that like tropical heat, of course. Here's another shade area I have a tree over here I need to plant this fall. I'm not going to put it in during the heat. And I'll do a video on planting trees too later on this fall. But I added some more impatiens. Yes, I need to still weed. No judging. Impatiens for color, pops of color are awesome. And if you have bare areas in shade areas. And then vincas are I find that the best, and moss rose, to fill in. These daylilies are going to be blooming probably in a couple weeks. So I'll probably do another video to show you guys the colors. And I added a couple campanellas. They're like rock cress. They love rocky areas, stony areas. Some of the stuff is dying back, and then other things are starting to take over. This is Blazing Star. It's purple, I believe. I have purple and white back here. And there's more daylilies. They're starting to shoot up their blooms. This is Sweet William. I love Sweet William. It smells amazing. And I added a couple things back here for color. My tropicals are coming up. This one's flagged here. Then there was one right behind it. There's an elephant ear right there starting. And then there's another elephant ear over there starting. So I'll have the tropicals back here. That hosta is struggling, so I had to pull a bunch of stuff out and away from it. So it could get some air and a little bit of sunlight. Okay, he just scared me. I didn't know what it was. I saw his tail and I thought it was a snake. What are you doing, buddy? See his tail? Scared me. Not as scared of snakes. They just startled me. But this is a witch hazel vine, or witch hazel shrub, and the leaves on that should get a pretty yellow orange in the fall. There's some sedum there. I'm going to dig out, this is meadow rue, and I'm going to dig that out because it needs more shade, and right here it gets baked in the sun. So I want to move that, and I might put that butterfly bush into that spot. These are about, I think this is a double yellow daylily. I have some asters going on. I still want to replace my miniature pea tree here, but I put the canna there. It's doing very well right now. I had those, put a mum in there. Japanese iris right there. Hope they bloom this year. Pig squeak. I can't think of the real name of it, but I call it pig squeak because they say the kids love that and the lamb's ear because the leaves are fuzzy and these make noises. So back here, this shrub, it's not bittersweet. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I will think of it. But these leaves turn a pretty yellow orange in the fall as well. This is the back side. This is a maple, and that, I think it's a golden maple. It turns yellow or orange as well. My morning glories are going to be crawling up this pole. Now, I just talked to a gal yesterday, and she saw on Pinterest where you could put a slinky down this, and it helps the vine crawl up that slinky. I thought that was a genius idea. So my Asiatics are starting to bloom yellow and red over here. My pond is not kicked in yet. This shrub broke off in the center. So it's branching out. It's supposed to branch out like that, but it's still supposed to grow up from the center. So hopefully this year, this little guy is going to be the center, the main stem again. Otherwise, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to train one of the other ones to go that direction. Some more cannas. Here's another shade area. I put Impatience. You can see, and it still be peeking out from underneath there. But that hosta, I don't know if it's substance or I can't remember the name, guys. My tags are all inside, and I can remember some things. I have to fix this. I want to take all these little babies off and put them back into the planter. They've gotten leggy. And here's some more coneflowers. There. I had to transplant one there by the green flag, so I'm babying it. There's one there. This is the great bed, perfect bed for coneflower. Full sun, good drainage. And that flag there, I'm going to put another coneflower in. And of course that was the meadow rue I'm going to take out and replace. I think I put the butterfly bush there. Some more Asiatic lilies. I just love that color. Love it. Hi, buddy. Are you catching snakes? Are you catching snakes? Oh, be careful. You're silly. You're a silly boy. These lilies, I believe, are white. So we're going to have some white color back there. But that's what's growing. Oh, I wanted to show you my my tiger eye sumac. Let me stand back. There's my tiger eye sumac. I love it. And it does not grow suckers as much as the red one does. The red one, you see that all in ditches and stuff like this. This is a red bud, and it bloomed beautifully. This is a Korean maple. So those leaves turn an orange in the fall. Sometimes I don't show you the up above what I have. That tree there is a, oh my gosh, you find them in Colorado. Can't think of it. And then I have black elderberry back there. And arborvitae right there. Dwarf Alberta spruce. This here is supposed to be a birch. So I got him as a baby, so I can't wait for him to take off. That is a Korean barberry, and that turns a deep, pretty red in the fall. And I did find where my honeysuckle vine died last year. I did find one starting to grow, so I'm starting him to wrap up around. So hopefully I'll have that back. But there's my wisteria, and then up above on the full pergola of the deck is bittersweet. And that bittersweet has just been a great shade cover, actually. This is a buckthorn. This is a carousel barberry, and it goes through. I have to trim it back off the path, but it is a lime green now, and then it starts to change into a darker green. Then it goes to an orange and a deep red in the fall. So it has different seasons. It's just gorgeous. And the way over there is my 3-trunk birch tree. And while I'm here, I think I'm going to take you over to my rose bush and talk real quick about deadheading. Now, these lilies, I'm going to come back down and trim them back about maybe a foot. And so then the other foliage will grow up around it and cover up those stalks that have no foliage. Now, the roses, you want a deadhead. See that faded one? Just grab it and tip it off, but make sure you get the base of that. So you can I come out here with my coffee and I deadhead. And about every other day, I'll pick some off so you continuously have blooms all the time. And I find that even into fall, late fall, that I have roses, and I almost cry because then our first snow, of course, takes them out. But